He's a horrible, horrible person. Ugh. Hi people, welcome back to the other channel. Today we're talking about Love is Blind. Love is Blind is back and it's in UAE. So we're talking about Love is Blind Habibi. Sure to do all the right things. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button. Leave a comment, guys. Leave a comment because this has been good. I've only watched 5 episodes, no spoilers. We're just going to be talking about the pods and the honeymoon. And then we'll probably do the rest later. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, 5 episodes, 1 to 5. Leave a comment. Don't spoil for anybody or, everybody who hasn't watched it and for me because I haven't seen it yet. And let's just dive into it because this was really interesting. Shout out to UAE for coming in and showing up with everybody speaking multiple languages. My God. We're going to be talking about the couples. So the individuals in a couple that made it out as a couple. And then any other stragglers that were like in triangles or squares leading up to this. Let's start with the men. So they hit us hard with Amma. And what a good looking man. I was so like, oh my God, he's gonna be a very huge, still is. I was like, oh my God, he's such a gorgeous man. And then he opened his mouth and I was like, woof, gross. And I don't mean, like, I get it. There are people like this. Like I said, I grew up in a northern state. In my country. I was in the northern part of my country. And a lot of guys are like this. They were like this. You marry a girl, she stays at home, she takes care of the house. Anything you say is law. Even going into watching this, I kind of understood, like, with the culture and the differences that will be happening. I knew where they were going with this. So I wasn't surprised when Amma showed up. My thing about Amma is that he's just too freaking cute to be so alpha male. I just didn't like it. And it's not even just alpha male. It's just, what's the word that I'm thinking of? Let me know in the comment section if you know what word I'm trying to use to describe him. Anywho, he's a dentist. And first impressions, like I said, he was hot until he wasn't. And I kind of like just left it there. I was like, if he makes it out as a couple, I really don't care because he's not my vibe. His way of life is not my vibe. Not to say it's wrong, it's just not for me. So moving on, Mohammed. Does anybody think Mohammed looks like Kumar from Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle? Please let me know. Because every time he came up, I was like, you could be his elder brother. And I don't really know what the actor's name is right now. I can't really remember. But Mohammed was okay. First impressions, I thought maybe he was a little too smooth, if I'm being honest. I love his couple. Love them. They're the only ones that I like out of there's 2 that I really love out of everybody that made it into a couple. And I wish them very well. But there's something, I have a little reservation about Mohammed and I don't know why. And he's done nothing wrong. He's been spot on from the beginning, from inside the pods right up till now. He's done everything well. So I'm not really sure. He also used that line from Crazy Stupid Love, you're the perfect combination of cute and sexy, I think. And I was like, and then he does a lot of movie quotes too, which there's nothing wrong with it. But I only like movie quotes if we're speaking in movie quotes. You know that game where you're using quotes to have a conversation? It's very fun. I love it. That's the only time I like, that's the only context in which I accept movie quotes being used in conversation. If you're just using it, it's plagiarism. You can't just... I'm not saying Crazy Stupid Love came up with that sentence or that quote. It seemed a little, I think it was just a little too perfect for me. And that's my reservation about Mohammed. Haktab. Oh, I love Haktab. He's like a cute teddy bear. And honestly, if I'm being honest, I'm appreciating the fact that they're bringing guys who are overweight and we can see that switch because a lot of the times it's only the women. Usually it's the women who are overweight and they're the ones that get rejected. I'm not saying that I want to see the guys get rejected, but I like seeing it from that perspective. So loved him from the beginning. He's so handsome. He's an absolutely good looking guy. And when he matched with the girl, I was like, I knew she was going to have a problem with it initially, but I hoped that she would push through because I think that he was actually a really good guy. Shafiq, he was a little too smooth. He was giving me Nick Nick from Love is Blind, the current season right now, USA. He's too Mr. Suave with everybody. He's too open with everybody. He's too flirty. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. But in the context where you are here to find a wife and, meet the person that you love, it just wasn't vibing for me. So Shafiq, I'm not really rooting for in this. I like his partner. I really do like her, and it's kind of sad that this is her first relationship. And I pray that they don't get married because I think she deserves more at this point in time. Mido. Mido was okay, but there was only always jokes with Mido. Like there was never nothing ever deep with Mido, and I liked Mido until I didn't, just like a lot of the other guys here. When he couldn't take rejection properly, I was like, there's a problem there and it's gonna be a running thing. And I was right. Apart from that, I didn't really have a problem with Mido. And the fact that Mido is 39, man's too grown to be acting the way he was acting sometimes. Too grown to be acting the way he was acting. And last but not least, we have Simo. Hate this guy. Hated him from the first look at him. He's extremely handsome. A lot of the men on this are very handsome. But I could not stand him. And when he opened his mouth, I could stand him even less. The only time that I liked him throughout this entire thing was when he chastised his partner for speaking wrongly to the waitress. That was the only time that I gave Simo points for anything. Other than that, throw the whole man away. Throw him away. Moving on to the women. Karma, I like. Karma seems like she's high all the time. I'm not gonna lie. there's this calm, dazed air about her that just it speaks of marijuana. And I know she's not. And that's just her aura, which is kind of cool, if I'm being honest. But yeah, Karma's interesting. And then Safa, I love. Safa, I really, really like. I was drawn to Safa as soon as she came on the scene. I love the way she smiles. She has this huge smile, grinning ear to ear, full set of teeth. Absolutely gorgeous. Like, I just really liked her. I like her story, the background, everything about her. I just really, I was drawn to Safa. Asma was the next one, and she's so bubbly, so bubbly. Like, I don't know who she was talking to, but I swear to God, it was like a motivational convention. She's like, you can do it. I was like, God, girl, just get the mic and speak to everybody, because at this point, you're like a motivational speaker in the house. Love her. Her energy is amazing, and I really enjoyed like watching her on the show. Dunia was cute. I thought Dunia had a little tense energy about her. She's like, she's the cute girl next door, but prim and proper is the best way that I can think about it. She's one of the youngest on the show, and I'm not really liking her couple right now. Not at all. But let's see how things play out. Noor can't stand. I love that she knows who she is and what she wants. But I can't stand her. I really can't. I just can't. It's just not my... Noah is not for me. And apparently Noah is not for a lot of people. And then last but not least, Haja. Couldn't stand that one either. And the events that went on during the show with Haja was a little triggering. Not really triggering. It's not that deep. But it was a little like, goodness, you guys know that these things are being recorded, right? You know that you're on TV, international TV now. Like, it just doesn't make sense, the decisions that they were making. But let's go into the couples. So first couple out the gate were Amma and Karma. And this was their reveal was really nice. The forehead kiss. Oh my God, that gave me tickles. I loved it. But you know what is interesting about this couple? Amma says that when a woman marries him, her life comes second. All she has to do is look good and be fit. And I was like, this is where he lost me completely. It's very much my way or the highway. I run the house. I'm the man of the house. I pay the bills. You just sit there, look pretty, and have my children, kind of thing. And I just, it doesn't apply to me. When he said that, I was like, Noor seems like the perfect person for him. But they couldn't stand each other. And even when they saw each other at the honeymoon, he couldn't stand the girl. He never had one good thing to say about her, which was interesting. Karma is a business owner. and was in the theater and plans to go back to the theater after her marriage. So I'm not really sure what they talked about in the pods, but I don't know. I don't understand how this relationship is going to work. And that comes to fruition when they get to the honeymoon. Next couple was Mohammed and Safa. Love them. Their reveal was very cute and emotional. I actually really like them. They are my first favorite couple of this season. I'm rooting for them so hard. So freaking hard. I don't see how it's gonna work. I don't really know. I think the major obstacle with them is her job, to be honest, and I'm not sure how that's gonna play out when they get back to the real world is when we'll find out. But I really love them. There was really not much going on with them, if I'm being honest. They seemed good. Like I said, it's her job that will be the biggest hurdle for them. Haktab and Asma, the reveal, she was shocked. He did kind of hint, to her that he was not in the best of shape he used to be, but that the past couple years have been hard for him. He also revealed a lot towards the end of their pod time about all the businesses that he owns and how he's a silent partner. The guy is well to do. The review was, like I said, she was shocked and she was shaking. And right after the review, they don't make it to the honeymoon at first because they said that they decided to take their time and figure things out for themselves. Fourth couple was Shafiq and Dunia. It was the best reveal. I'm gonna give them that. It was the best and the happiest. She was on cloud nine. She's just so cute and adorable. And I really like her, but I don't like him for her. Don't it? Going back to Haktab and Asma. So there was this whole triangle with Haktab and Asma. It was Mido, Asma, and Haktab. This was where Mido fell off for me because Haktab and Asma really connected, and she said that he was her choice. Unfortunately, Haktab went back to the men's lounge and was announcing that he and Asma had decided that they were each other's one. Mido heard that, came in for his date, and just like said, what did he even say? He said, is there any reason for me to be here? She's like, yeah, I was just going to try and let you know or understand where I'm coming from. And he's like, there's no point, there's no need to. And he's not wrong. Here's the thing, he's not wrong. There's no point to trying to let him understand. But at least let the girl speak to you. You guys were dating for how long? Let her speak to you. There's nothing wrong in talking to her and being a person about it. But it was just so butthurt that he blew her off. And it thereby proved her point that she had chosen the right person. Because he's a man-child. 39? Come on. That was bad. Fifth couple was Mido and Noor. There was no chemistry. There was no sexual chemistry. No emotional chemistry. Nothing between these two people. Because Asma had chosen Haktab and Shafir had chosen Dunia. These two people came together out of desperation. It's pure and simple. I'm gonna tell you how it is, guys. That is exactly what happened. They felt like they had nobody else and they just swapped into each other. Now, like I said, Noah she had her sights set on Shafiq. Shafiq was in a love triangle with Noah, Haja, and Dunia. Like I said, he's extremely flirty and I don't like him. I really don't. But it is what it is. Dunia has chosen. We just have to watch her go through it and hopefully hold her hand at the end of it all. So Noah had her sights set on Shafiq. She'd even given him this book at one point, which he returned. I thought that was cold-blooded, but it had to be done. And I respected him for returning it to her. So Mido and Noor, when they met, the reveal was very awkward. Honestly, when he asked her to marry him, she should have just said no on the spot because there was nothing there. My guess is that she just used him to get to the honeymoon, to cause chaos. And boy, did this girl cause chaos. She didn't even do nothing. She played them like cheap fiddles. Kai, no, she's good. She's good. So now we're gonna skip on to the what's it called? Oh, sorry, there was one more because I don't like them. I totally forgot them. The last couple was Simu and Haja. The two of them are equally horrible people. I hated them. Oh, those are equally horrible people, and I dislike them extremely. Haja was, like I said, in a love triangle with Shafiq, Dunia, and Noor, and Simu was in a love triangle with Yasmin and Haja. Now things were going well between him and Yasmin until he'd given Yasmin a bunch of roses. So she took it back. She didn't tell anybody who they were from. Haja had stolen one of the roses, sprayed her perfume on it, and left it as a present for him. So he's like, "Where did you get this rose?" She said, "I stole it from Yasmin's secret admirer." He then says, "I was the admirer." I think he actually he liked it that she had, gone to the trouble of stealing from another person's bouquet and presenting it back to him. But what he didn't like in that scenario is the fact that Yasmin had not told people who had given her flowers. So when he had his date with Yasmin, he calls her out and says, "Why didn't you tell people I was the one that gave you flowers?" She said, "Out of respect for the people that you're dating." He said, "Out of respect for you or for me?" She said, "Out of respect of the girls, because you're dating multiple people right now, and I'm not trying to be that messy." He says, "But you're also dating multiple people." And she says, "Yes." And he kind of flips it. Like, this guy is arrogant up the wazoo. He's a horrible, horrible person. Ugh. Gross. Why are all the pretty ones so awful? Why? Anma, Simu, like, it's such a waste. It's such a waste. He's, I think, by far the worst person I've ever seen. No, that's going too far. He's the worst person definitely on the show, and I really dislike this guy. But let's skip on to the honeymoon. So yeah, it's honeymoon time. We are told that Haktab and Asma are not going. Obviously, they're going to work on their things, figure it out for themselves. We're going to talk about the couples individually and all their stuff, and then we'll talk about the gathering, the first gathering and the second gathering. So, they do things differently because it's the United Arab Emirates. They don't sleep in the same room. They have individual rooms, and they meet every day for dates. Kind of like that idea, if I'm being honest. I love that they're respecting their traditions and they're keeping to it. We know what we're watching. Nobody complaining this thing how you don't like that they're not in the same room so they can argue and figure things out together. This ain't that kind of rodeo party, okay? Amma and Karma. Right off the bat, he says that she needs to change her characteristics a bit. That a woman should only flirt with her husband. That's what he was going to. Valid. You know what? In that one, I can't even fault him. A woman should only flirt with her husband. I agree with that. I respect that. I'm for that. Muhammad and Safa, rooting for them. Like I said, they really don't have a lot of problems. But the only thing is that she travels a lot, and she said that her schedule for the next 3 years is that she leaves on Sundays to, I think it's Iraq, or Iran, one of them, but Bashar. I don't know where that is, guys. And then comes back every Wednesday or Thursday, and that's going to be her schedule for 3 years. So he's worried about how she's going to find, familiarity or a home or stuff like that. But he doesn't want to interfere with her work. So we'll see how far that statement goes, when they get back to reality and she's actually leaving every Sunday and coming back on Wednesdays. Shafiq and Dunia, this is her first relationship. He tells her that he's a jealous type and he wants to see how she interacts with the other guys when they all meet up. And the fact that he said that, I was like, okay, are you lumping yourself in there? Because if you're watching her react with other guys, she's equally watching you react with other girls. Okay. The whole fact that, sorry, I kicked you guys. The whole fact that he's a jealous type, she said, scares her, and she doesn't really know how she'll deal with that situation, but she wants to see. She is also worried because Noor is one of the couples. She's worried about him meeting Noor because apparently she'd heard that Noor had put the moves on him back in the pods. But she said that she's ready to fight. I loved her. She seemed a little scrappy in that moment and a little cute. I loved her. It's absolutely adorable. Mido and Noor, on the other hand, she gets her hair professionally done every day. She tells him somebody literally does this girl's hair every day. I can't even keep up to that. Look at me. My wig was giving me a migraine, so I took it off. I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered. How? I gotta love and I gotta respect some people for the things that they commit to. Honestly, respect. In the first meeting though, when they on their honeymoon, she can barely look at him, and she tells him that whenever she's shy or awkward, she doesn't make eye contact, and that's how she behaves. She wasn't too overwhelmed by she was too overwhelmed apparently by the heat, because he was trying to talk to her, and she was just like, oh no, this is too much. I have been to Dubai. They're not in Dubai anymore though. It is freaking it is stifling. I get it, but if somebody is trying to connect to you, find yourself and listen. It's not that big a deal. But she don't like him. She doesn't like this guy at all, and he was there trying to make fetch happen. Unfortunately, he then tells the camera one-on-one that she's changed. She's not the person from the pods. And I was like, what are you talking about? You guys barely spoke in the pods. There was nothing to latch onto. But because you were so desperate and so butthurt from rejection on both sides, you decided that you were going to latch onto this. There was nothing there. So don't come here telling us things change when there was absolutely nothing there in the first place. So Simo and Haja, she says that he tells her goodness, Simo and Haja, he tells her that she's a little crazy and a troublemaker, and that he loves that about her. He wants to be in Morocco, but she wants to be in Dubai. She says that she loves her freedom, that there's only family in Morocco, and she won't be able to live her life the way she wants if she's in Morocco. When she was shivering about his answer, because he said that family is in Morocco, so family is freedom, why would she want to live anywhere else? Because he is choosing Morocco because his business is there, and that there's nothing for him in Dubai, or that the only thing he can do is sell ice cream. I don't know why he came after the ice cream seller so hard. She then starts to shiver because she said, yeah, that, like, your answers are making me shiver. He asks her, are you cold? She said yes, that his answers are making her. He proceeds to take off his sweater and then put it on his chair. And I'm like, why ask if you weren't even going to give it to her in the first place? I don't understand. And then this was where he chastised her because a waiter had come to bring her food, and she was a total bitch. Complete asshole to this waiter. It wasn't even like serious, but the way she spoke to them, not even looking at it wasn't good. And he called her out on it. This was his only shining point in this entire series. Honestly, the fact that he called her out on it and told her that he will not stand for that. I loved it. I love that. You don't speak to people like that. It doesn't matter what they do. A person is a person. You respect them the way they're respecting you. Just because they're serving you doesn't make them less. It really irks me because I used to be in customer service, and I know how people spoke to me, and it was just so annoying. You know what? We're going on a tangent. Anywho, the first gathering comes along, and Haja was very salty about Shafiq as soon as, because obviously she was one of the people that didn't get Shafiq in their triangle. Noor dissed Shafiq hard. She knew what she was doing. Noor played this game like a professional. She knew what she was doing. The fact that she dissed him so hard and didn't really acknowledge him properly made her live in his brain throughout his entire honeymoon. And I have to give her props for the mindfuckery that went down during this honeymoon with her and Shafiq. Turns out that Noor and Shafiq used to message each other on Instagram, so they knew each other before the show. About a year ago. They always say it's a year ago. Shafiq tells Mido that he is better than his fiance Noor because of how she behaved. He felt that it was very respectful. Mido does not say one word to defend this girl, which is telling in itself. And I was just like, it is a mess all around. But my own question is, why go and meet her? If you have a problem with the girl, go and talk to her. You're all adults. Why are you going to her fiance and you're bad mouthing her? And why is the fiance sitting here and not saying anything about it? If anybody bad mouthed me in front of my husband, or bad mouthed my husband in front of me, I'm gonna pull you up right then. I may go and talk to him. If it's me, I will go and talk to him later on. But in the public, you don't talk trash about nobody. Not my husband, not my cousins, not my brother, not my brothers. Nobody that is connected to me. You don't do it. Don't do it.
Hey, don't do it. Just don't do it.
So the fact that Mido didn't say anything, not even one word in her defense, that was a little, yeah, it was a little for me. Simo and Haja then fight over Noor. So Haja had dusted Noor's dress or she was cleaning it while Simu was standing there. And then Simu proceeds to tell Noor to turn around to check that the dust was gone. And she did it. And I was like, what? Just walk away. He was in the wrong to tell her to turn around, obviously. Like, you don't need to, your fiance already handled it. You don't need to be doing all of that. But she just walked away and said, no, thank you, she handled it. You don't need to worry about that. Simple. Shafiq then approaches Noor about the whole issue, about her not greeting him and everything. And she was like, no, I didn't do that. It wasn't true. I didn't do that. It's not. It's like, this girl is so good. Love watching it. I like watching pros in their elements, honestly. It may not be, I don't want to be on the receiving end of it, but I like watching them in their element and studying them. They then squash the thing real quick. They talk about how they probably know each other from Instagram. She starts laughing real quick and Dunia starts getting upset. Mido is also upset. He's like, he's never seen this Noor before when she's interacting with him. She's a different person with everybody else except for him. So he's upset about that. Shafiq then goes and tells Simo about his conversation with Noor and how that they knew each other before the show and they used to chat on Instagram. Simo, God mercy, what a shit show. Simo then goes and sits Dunia down and I've been calling her Dunia throughout this whole thing. Simo then goes and sits Dunia down and tells her people knew each other before they came on the show and that it's not fair. He doesn't name names. He never named names.
You got me blacklisted at Hop Sings? She named name.
But the implication is so hard that she understands what he means. This then leads to a huge fight. I don't think we've seen a fight like this. I don't remember, not even in Brazil. I don't think we've seen a fight like this before. This was actually intense. And I can't remember. I think women have fought. But I don't think I've seen a man fight like this on Love is Blind. It leads to a huge fight between Simu and Shafiq. Honestly, Simu was the asshole in this situation, 100%. He did not need to do Shafiq like that. But then again, Shafiq and Simu were never friends, not even in the pods. They were already arguing in the pods. So why Shafiq thought that it was a good idea to go and talk to Simu was beyond me. So, 50-50. After that, it really was kind of... It really was kind of straightforward. So after that first gathering, Amma and Karma, they get together one more time. And Karma says that her decision is not, like, their journey so far has been very beautiful, but her decision is not certain yet. He was not impressed about that. She also said that he starts the conversation on another date saying that he likes how she's very old-fashioned and traditional, and that in relationship it needs to be old-fashioned and traditional. I said I know where this man is going. Karma says that she wants to do her business and go back to theater, her dancing and acting after marriage. He says that she should just focus on business because he doesn't want her dancing and acting, doing theater in front of other people. They go back and forth, and he said that he can accept the acting, but he can't accept the dancing, that she can't be dancing in front of other people. I'm pretty sure it means other men. And you know what? It is what it is. You guys communicate between yourselves. I don't see it as a big deal. If she's faithful to you, it's fine. She said she doesn't do belly dancing, so there are other kind of gyrations though. I get where he's coming from. I get it. But for me, it's not that big a deal, you know? And if it's something that she was doing before she met you, then honestly, I don't see a big deal. However, in a marriage, it's different. I get it. So you guys come to a decision together and figure out your life. So they're going back and forth, and then the switch up came, and he goes angry and says that he doesn't like talking about things, like he doesn't like arguing about things like this, that usually when he says something he expects somebody to just say okay and he's done. And it was then that I was like, oh my god, Amma might be a why I order kind of guy, and if you know, you know. I'm not saying nothing after that. Mohammed and Safa were great after the first gathering. There was really nothing going on there. Shafiq and Dunia, after the first gathering, Dunia asks him about the whole situation. He says that Noor doesn't matter or interest him. I don't believe him. I really don't. I think there's a genuine curiosity there where he wants to explore anything that he can with Noor. She's a gorgeous girl. The girl's a model. It's like 6 feet tall. Like, she's beautiful. So I would feel more comfortable if he said, she's a gorgeous girl, but honestly, I'm more focused on you right now, and I want to focus on our relationship moving forward. I would have more respect for him. You know, but it is what it is. He hasn't really done anything yet except for constantly seek out the girl whenever he's around her. That's a problem. Junior is scared. She's scared of his flirtatious side because she doesn't want to be heartbroken. This is her first relationship. She's navigating this serious issue. She already had insecurities about Noor. She knows, she said it, that Noor is a beautiful woman. And so there's just a lot going on for Dunia right now with Shafiq. For Mido and Noor, after the first gathering, Mido doesn't think that they are a match because she's emotionally cold to him. He has this meeting with her in the morning where he basically tells her that it's done and there's nothing happening. So in my mind, I thought that he had broken off the relationship with her and he left because he demiked himself and walked away. Right? So I was like, oh, that's it. They're done. You know, like this next couple, they should be, you know, moving on and everything. Because after the first gathering where Simo was fighting Shafiq, Simo is mad that Haja did not stand by his side while he was fighting men. It's like, what exactly did you expect her to do? Stand here and be punching guys with you or taking the punches? Which one were you looking for? She said that it was not her business. It was a fight between men, so she wasn't really... I get what he means. However, it was a stupid fight to begin with, so... No, I get what he means. He wanted his woman beside him, no matter what he's doing, no matter the stupidity. He wanted her backing him, and she just sat down at the table and was sipping her drink. So, because he didn't think that she backed him up during the fight, he just up and leaves. And we flash back to the pods where she says that she's broken over guys who leave for no reason, and he's saying that he will fix that. Not to turn around and do the exact same thing that she didn't want to get done to her in the first place. Like, see, with Simo and Haja, even in the pods, there was this one time where she had said something. Can somebody let me know what exactly she said? Because I thought she was talking about eating cake. And all of a sudden, he was pissed off. He was belligerent, like he was just so annoyed about what she said that she had disrespected herself, her family, him. Like, what did she say? I've gone back, I swear all she said that she wants to eat the cake. So please, if you understood what it meant, if there's a context there that I didn't understand, let me know in the comment section. But during that whole situation, she apologized, but she was also making faces when he was talking to her because he wouldn't leave it, he wouldn't dead it. She had apologized, said moved on, tried to joke with him, he would not leave it alone. So she's like, just drop it already and let's move on, or let's know what we're doing. But even on her side, on the pods, she would be doing things like, you know, oh my god, stuff like that while he was talking. And I was like, why did you say yes to this man? It's obviously toxic and you haven't even seen each other yet. You know, when he did the flip up on Yasmin, she was like, it was good until it wasn't. I'm out. I saw a different side to him and I just don't want to be there anymore. Like, I just didn't understand. Moving on, they did a second gathering because our good people, Haktab and Asma had decided to join back in. She said that they figured it out, that she was initially shocked, but that after sitting down and thinking about it, I was like, she thought about that money, man secure financially in these hard times. He is doing good. I'm just joking. I think she's well off herself. She said that after coming to that conclusion, that she realized that he is the person that she connected to, and they will like to pursue things and see how things go. Honestly, I wasn't sure at first, but when she was talking to Safa and she said, he is wonderful. It melted my heart. It melted my heart. And they are my second favorite couple of the season. And I am rooting for them very hard. So at that second gathering, Noor was there. And I was like, why is Noor here? Didn't Mido just break up with her? And then Mido shows up and I was like, oh, was I confused about that meeting that they had the day before? But Mido just showed up to the guy's side to tell them that he's leaving and that he's had enough and he can't take it anymore. He is done with Noor. So when everybody gathers, Noor is sitting there. They're all asking her, where is he? And she's like, I don't know. I'm not chasing him. I don't know. And then they now tell her eventually that, he decided that he was going to leave. and then he's left, and then she starts to flip the story and starts yelling that, oh, not really yelling, but saying that, how can he do that? Can she respect the man who did that? I was like, you had a conversation. They understand that these things are recorded, right? They understand that it's on tape. It just blows my mind. The amount of delusion. I swear, there's a tree that they're plucking it from and eating the fruits. Because how can you be so delusional? You had the conversation the day before. He broke up with you, literally demiked himself and walked off. Only for you to show up at the gathering and say you don't know where he is, that you can't keep tabs on him, you haven't seen him, you haven't talked to him. Wow. So that whole thing gets settled. Then Shafiq starts to talk to Noah about Mido, and this hits a nerve with nerve. This hits a nerve with Dunia, and the whole thing just gets really sour. Like, why was he talking? Did he need to be talking about her or talking about Mido with her? Why was she still there is my question. As soon as they told her that Mido left, she should have just packed her load and gone. What was she doing there if not for drama? So this leads to a whole energy switch between Shafiq and Dunia. There's this equal tension. He pulls her aside. They start to argue. Noor is in the... I think it was creative editing, but I feel like it wasn't. She's just smiling like the witch there. And then she leaves. So they're showing us their fight while she's taking off her makeup. It was just perfect production, honestly, perfect editing. It's like when she left and she was removing everything, I was like, yes, your work is done, you've done what you came here to do. It was flawless. That was where I stopped, because after that, I think episode 6 is when they are moving back, they're going back home, and they got their phones already and everything. So it's gonna be interesting. I know that they won't live together. I don't think they would do that, not in UAE. So it's going to be interesting to see how they consistently get together and how they navigate those situations leading up to the wedding. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to be back with the follow-up review, guys. If it's good, if it's really good, I will come back. If not, I will see you guys for a reaction for the reunion, which I always do on any Love is Blind. Whether I review them or not, I do a reunion reaction. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the recap review. It's more of a review, to be honest. Oh, there was one guy I forgot to mention. He's not even important. Let's not give him space. He wasn't important in this whole thing. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to do all the right things, like subscribe, leave a comment, hit that bell, and also follow on the main channel. There's a lot happening there, and there's a lot on Patreon as well, so check us out. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Toodles!